Eagles and ravens, what the hell have they got to do with business? Well, actually a massive amount. One of the key factors that holds teams back can be completely changed around, dropped, readapted, and made into a very successful principle of the business by following exactly what the eagle and the raven does. Let's get stuck into it right now. So business can be difficult, can be quite challenging. There's a lot of factors that are always going to be in our control that we need to be able to work with, but there's also a hell of a lot of factors that are outside of our control. And being able to separate what we can control for what we can't control, and then having the right approach to that is one of the probably key avenues that a lot of business owners always struggle with. And it's something that you need to be always very well aware of and be able to adapt appropriately. And so if you think about just a situation with the eagle and the raven, now you might be thinking, well, what does this have to do with building my health and medical business? Well, actually quite a lot. So let's just jump into it and go with me on this. So the raven, the little black pesky little bird, is the only bird that actually takes on an eagle. And so an eagle is one of the biggest birds of prey. They're huge. They hang around in the sky like birds do. But they're just such an intimidating factor. They're beautiful. They're graceful. They can be quite vicious when they need to be. But the only bird that takes them on is the raven. And so what the raven actually does is it actually comes up over the top of the back of the eagle, and it actually viciously attacks the back of the neck of the eagle. And so it pecks at it. It tries to draw blood. It annoys it. But so here's the thing. Think about how many people in your area that might be competitors. Maybe they're not direct competitors, but they are some of the people or different companies or parts of the industry that are the raven to your business, the ones that are the most annoying, the ones that always seem to be trying to pick at you, trying to always, rather than focusing on themselves, they're focusing on you and your team and your business, trying to maybe be a little bit, probably, call a spade here, right? They should be focusing on themselves, staying in their own lane, minding their own business, but instead they waste a whole lot of time, money, and effort, pulling other people down and criticizing them and making it a little bit difficult, right? Now, we all have them in and around every single one of our businesses. We have them in every industry, and it's a little bit of a downside to business as a whole to know that there are the ravens out there causing trouble for other people, right? But if we stop and think about the eagle and the raven, what actually happens is the eagle, unlike other birds, is smart enough to know that it's not in the best interest to change what they're doing. What they do is, rather than like other birds, turn around and fight the raven. They end up, huge amounts of squawking, and they try and attack each other. And basically they waste time and energy. Maybe the prey they were after has now disappeared. Maybe the avenue of what was around, or the avenue to see the light and, go where they need to, is now completely changed. So at a net result, they get distracted. They don't get their the avenues moving forward of what they were doing at the time, right? They've been distracted by something. They've engaged in a battle or an argument against the raven, and as a net result, it's a total waste of time. Maybe they get hurt, maybe they hurt the others, and it just becomes a really horrible situation. Think about what the eagle does. The eagle knows not to fight. The eagle knows that it's bigger and badder and could definitely do more damage, hurt them, and things like that. But rather than fighting, what the eagle does is the eagle actually starts to soar higher into the sky, because the eagle's smart enough to know that it can actually fly at a higher altitude than the raven, and that the raven will not know what's happening and will actually get into oxygen deprivation and fall from the sky. So what actually happens is the eagle physically starts to raise itself up. It's a metaphor of us in our own business, taking the moral high ground. It's us actually lifting ourselves up to a higher standard, raising ourselves up above the raven pecking at our neck and trying to annoy us, pull us down, criticize, complain, whinge, whine, etc. And so the eagle goes up, raven doesn't know what happens, it falls literally out of the sky as a net result. And so when we stop and think about it, it's the perfect avenue for how we need to work with our own businesses. We don't need to get distracted by the pesky raven that is always going to be, no matter what we do, trying to pick at our neck. You might be in the perfect position doing everything right, everything's great, but that's just how some people are wired. Maybe there's a streak of jealousy. Maybe they're in a situation maybe they're jealous. And the reason why this came up is purely and simply, I was chatting with one of our clients in our Kaizen tribe and the Profitable Practice, probably about 2 or 3 days ago, and a bit of a difficult situation that she flagged with us in one of the other states with a competitor. And it purely came down to the fact that she's had a lot of business growth. We've scaled her business significantly. She's brought on 2 new team members. The business is going fantastic, even though we've had lockdowns and all these other challenges. Everything's been done right. Everything is going fantastic. And ultimately, this person and their team are jealous and they've actually gone backwards, etc. And as a net result, they've been the ones that are probably saying and doing a lot of things that didn't need to be said and done. Just being difficult, being the raven, and not playing nice for no other reason that they're jealous and they don't know how to fix the problem. They think it's, their role to criticize, whinge and whine, etc. So let's not get into the personal side of that. And for us ourselves, even in this podcast, let's not dive into trying to, deviate from what we're doing and attack the raven. Let's leave the raven being the raven. That's who they are. That's what they do. That's what they think is right. So let's not worry about wasting our time, our money, or our efforts, the emotional drain that it takes to go and fight these type of battles. Let's not let us worry it, and let's know that we're the eagle, and what we can do simply and easily is we can fly above. We can lift up our standards. Let's just agree to lift up our standards, rise above, and let the ravens fall away. Might fall away quickly. It might take a little bit more height and leveling up to do it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the eagle always wins his battle without having to get stuck into battles and fights with critics and things like that. So team, let's have a think about it right now. If you've got that happening right now, and I know that because we asked our tribe, there's a few other people in this situation as well. We're always going to have detractors. You're always going to have critics. You're always going to have people that are jealous. But there's a reason why they're behind you already, okay? So be the eagle. Let's make sure that we don't fight the battles of the raven. Let's lift ourselves up. Use this as an avenue to do more, be more, have more, create more impact, lift ourselves up on so many different levels and let the ravens fall off. It's a very, very powerful avenue for business. It's a powerful thing for us personally to know as well. So let's get stuck in. Let's make sure we leave the ravens. Don't waste time, money, and effort on them. Be the eagle, soar high, and let the ravens fall away. I'll talk to you again very soon. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.